Okay, hello. Oh, okay, so something that I was thinking about, I just had a trip to Vegas and it was an amazing trip. It was a lot of fun. I had a great time. And before I left, it was truly summertime where I live. And when I got back from my trip, almost immediately, I noticed that there was a change in the season. Like it feels a little colder. It had been raining, definitely a change. And something when it comes to grief, and I know I've heard this from a lot of people who are on a grief journey, is that, the seasons can really bring up a lot of feelings. I think back to the last Labor Day weekend that I had my daughter, and I was down at my grandma's house. Her and I were both swimming. I was feeling so happy. I had lost 50 pounds since January, and Kimber was so proud of me. She's like, "Oh my gosh, have you guys seen my mom?" And her and I were swimming. Bobby Boo Boo, my grandma, was like throwing frozen grapes into our mouths in the pool, like as if we were dolphins. And my grandma made bratwurst and watermelon, and she kept being like, "This is the most traditional Labor Day with bratwurst and watermelon." But it's just really crazy for me now to think back and be like, wow, I did not even realize that in a little over a month, my entire life was going to be completely torn apart. And oftentimes the season has kind of hit me like this, where everything is fabulous. It's summer. I'm, not even thinking about anything. Well, I'm still thinking about it, but it's not fresh there. And then all of a sudden the seasons will change. And it really brings me right back to that time right before I feel like my life just completely became a different life. And so I asked myself, what can I do? I've developed a lot of rituals over the past, I guess it will be 8 years this year. So I felt like, what can I do? So this morning I really took the time, watered my plants, talked to my plants, embraced the changing of the seasons. And today I went to like the store that is a farmer's market, and I got a lot of fall vegetables, fall types of food, and I'm going to make a really comforting soup for myself. And, as I step into this new journey of being a coach and having my own business, something I'm going to try to do more of, which it still makes me, I don't know, feel a little bit uncomfortable, but I'm going to try to share more of the vulnerable side. I think a lot of times what people see is the really happy times, the manifesting, all of that stuff, which is a huge part of my life. But even the people in grief who seem really strong definitely have those hard days and the times where you're just taken back to, it feels like it just happened again. And so that's part of my journey that my goal is to start sharing, is through all the times and really showing what are the things I do to pull myself out, and how am I channeling my grief to make myself stronger. So welcome to my journey, and yeah, I'm happy you're here. If you watched this whole video, thank you very much. Everything is for Kimber. Thank you.